So the Switch Pro is something we've been hearing about for such a long time, but we're actually getting to the point where we're probably just closer to a next generation Switch, as in Switch 2. Let's have a little talk about whether we're going to actually get a Switch 2 and what the evidence of the current times are providing to see whether we will get a Switch 2 in 2023. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another Major Ben video. I do hope you guys are having a fantastic day as always. Welcome to the Major Ben channel. If you do enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, please let me know in the comments down below what I can do, to improve my content, because I do always want to improve and make sure I'm making the best videos I possibly can. But without further ado, obviously Switch Pro, Switch 2 is definitely needed. The Switch hardware is so outdated. I actually just yesterday watched Digital Foundry's Mortal Shell video. They've actually ported Mortal Shell to the Switch now, and it's looking pretty shabby. I mean, the average frame rate of that game is like 23 frames per second. It's pretty much near unplayable. It's a very impressive port, the fact that it's even working on the Switch, considering it's like 900p on the base PS4, and we know the Switch is a lot weaker than that. But games are looking worse and worse, and obviously even Nintendo's own first-party games. I don't want to talk about Pokemon because I don't think that's one of the problems. I think that was badly developed. We know that games like Xenoblade Chronicles can run on the Switch, and those ran fine. So I think that was an optimization thing. But a lot of the other games like Hyrule Warriors from fantastic developers, just weren't running well, and that was a while ago now. So, and obviously we're seeing a lack of third-party releases on the Switch anyway because the hardware physically can't do it. But what I want to talk about is whether we're going to get a Switch 2 this year. And I'm just going to jump into this and tell you why I think we won't get a Switch 2 this year. And I know that's disappointing for some of you. Now, what the majority of people are saying that think we might get a Switch Pro is that it would launch alongside Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously, the new Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, essentially, a game that's launching in May. Now, I don't think that's going to happen because I just don't think that's going to happen. We've heard that the Switch Pro from Digital Foundry was a thing, and then it was scrapped because of part constraints. The OLED essentially was meant to be the Pro, but because of part constraints and chip shortages, that wasn't going to happen at that time. Meaning that all the plans for the Pro are out the window, and that what they're focusing on is the Switch 2. Now, I think that the Switch, the Tears of the Kingdom Switch game, is going to be the last big Switch game we're going to get on that system. Obviously, we've got like Fire Emblem coming up and stuff like that this year. It's great. It's a fairly good year. And obviously, Tears of the Kingdom is fantastic. And then what I expect to see, rather than it launching alongside Tears of the Kingdom, is I expect it to launch a little bit further down the line. Maybe end of the year, we get a bit of a tease like, the next Switch hardware is going to be announced then, or we get a look at it, or something. You see the Switch 2 logo or something flash up in the end, towards the end of the year, ready for announcement in 2024 around the April sort of time. Because I just don't see it launching this year. I don't think Nintendo will want to do that. The OLED's not been out that long. The Switch is still flying off the shelves. We've actually seen that again in 2022. The Switch outsold PS5 in the UK. Like, it's still flying off shelves. And they actually told, Nintendo told investors in a meeting that they don't want to, one of the other reasons they don't want to bring out the Switch Pro, is that the Switch was actually still flying off the shelves, and the smarter decision would be to use the same chips, right? Because it's cheaper to just manufacture one chip and buy one chip rather than having two separate models. Put a better screen, because there was no OLED screen shortages during the pandemic and other stuff, and just slap a new screen, make the Switch OLED a little bit, upmarket. It's made of metal. It's a much better quality system, and release that. Because you're getting the same chips, you're getting the same internals entirely, just slapping a new screen on it. Save a ton of money. A genius marketing move from Nintendo. Yeah, the Switch is flying off shelves. We don't need a Switch Pro right now. Let's carry on doing what we're doing. Slap a better screen on it. Paying the same money for everything, still saving a more expensive Switch model with the same hardware in it, just from the OLED screen, and making even more money than they've made before. Like, it's just insane how they've got away with that. And it worked because I bought a Switch in 2017 and I bought a Switch OLED because I wanted an upgrade of some sort because I felt that that system was getting so old with the plastic screen and the tiny screen with all the big black bezels. Like, it just wasn't for me. Like, I love the Switch, but it just wasn't looking great for me. And that Switch OLED was a huge upgrade. I think people underestimated how much of an upgrade the Switch OLED was, including myself. I thought, oh, just an OLED screen, like same processor and all this and that. But no, it makes games look so much better than they've ever looked before because that screen is gorgeous. I have an OLED here, and even through the camera, even though it's focusing on my face and not that, it still pops and makes it look so good. So yeah, but that's what I personally think. I just can't see us getting a Switch 2 this year. I don't think there's enough announced for it to come out around Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously, Tears of the Kingdom will be the launch title, but they'd need other stuff too. I feel like going into 2024, they could have a brand new Mario game, like, I mean, not a spin-off Mario game, like a brand new Mario game. They could have a new Donkey Kong game. They could, obviously we won't get another Zelda Breath of the Wild or 3 or whatever, because that would be too soon after. It just would. You could get Metroid Dread. You could get Pikmin 4. Like, then you've got 4 amazing titles in 1 year next year launching, and Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever it's going to be, the mainline Mario game launching alongside a Switch 2. Like, that would make sales absolutely boom in the new year next year, or around April or whatever they want to do. Like, it would just be absolutely insane. Having Pikmin, the revival of the Pikmin series, a new Donkey Kong game, like, that would just be such a good lineup for the year. And then obviously a load of other stuff too, and probably more third-party stuff coming. Like, we can actually see some third-party games day and date on Switch, or if not a couple of months later, like we're still getting. Maybe Hogwarts Legacy is going to keep getting delayed until the Switch 2 launches, and because they don't know right now when it's going to launch, and maybe that's going to get delayed because God knows how that's going to run on the system. I have no clue how that's going to work. I can't wait to see it. I might just buy it on the Switch just so I can make a video on it and show you guys this is what Hogwarts Legacy looks like on the Switch, because man, I can't get my head around how that game's going to work unless they're completely lying to us about how this game is, and we're going to get it and it's going to be like some pixelated thing on the Nintendo version or so. I have no idea, but I can't understand how that's going to work. Like, this is a next gen, a new game. I know it's running on PS4 and stuff, but we saw Mortal Shell run at PS4 at 900p, and on Switch it was like 300p, and it ran at 20 frames per second and dipped down to 10 in a lot of cases. So I don't know, but I'm very curious to see how that's going to work, because in my opinion, that's going to be a real tough one. But, I just miss seeing games, big titles coming to the Switch, and playing them on the go. Like, we haven't even got games like Jedi Fallen Order, the original Jedi Fallen Order, on the Switch. Like, and that is possible. It's possible to run Jedi Fallen Order on the Switch. If they can get Mortal Shell, a game that actually is PS5 and PS4 running at 900p, compared to Jedi Fallen Order, which runs better than 900p on the base PS4, then we should be able to get those games. The problem is that developers don't want to put the time into the Switch because it takes so much work. If you just had that bit more power, well, quite a lot more power, not Steam Deck, not enough like the Steam Deck is, but a decent amount, because it's a Switch, it's a handheld system that the masses are going to buy, games will be better optimized for the system than like, the Steam Deck and how that works. So you actually could have a less powerful Switch than the Steam Deck, but it could run games better than the Steam Deck due to developers optimizing specifically for that Nintendo hardware. So that's when we would see bigger third-party games coming to the system. But we're just not, because the Switch is too underpowered. It would take so long for the developers to work on that, and it's probably not something they want to spend their time doing. And obviously, God knows, Jedi Fallen Order 2, we're definitely not going to get that on Switch, so it's just disappointing. And I kind of have fallen out of love with the Switch. It was actually a time when I would buy every game that was cross-platform and launched day one. I would buy that on the Switch instead of my PS5 or PS4 at the time, because it was like, well, yeah, I can take a hit on the graphics. At least I'm still getting the game. I can take it on the go wherever I am. But my life has also changed a little bit. I'm not on the go as much now. But it's still like one of those things where it's useful to have a game that can go anywhere. I can dock it to my desk Switch dock, and then I can stream for people on my Twitch. Shameless plug. Follow my Twitch in the description. And I could just dock it wherever I like and play the game. It was really, really useful to have that option, but you're just not getting any third-party games, and it's disappointing. So I don't think we're going to see it this year. I think we're going to see it in 2024. I think it's going to be around mid 2024. I think it's a shame because this year is going to be, obviously, Tears of the King is going to be amazing. I can't wait for that game. I love it, and I plan on replaying Breath of the Wild before we get there as well. But the game is fantastic, and I think it's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to play that. But other than that, there's not a lot I'm excited for on Switch, purely because of how games run. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, please subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in future videos. Bye-bye for now.